This is a glazing demo. When you're working with glazing, you do not use opaque white. You have to hold your whites and keep them by not painting over them. The first step is to draw out the white shapes in the image. I'm using the grid to help me find those shapes and draw them out. Once I find my white shapes, I'm going to cover them with tape.
So we're going to use this scale to help us this time. So the first thing I want to do is mix up a glaze that's this value. And I'm going to do it in a little top.
I'm going to mix black watercolor with water.
I think it looks okay. So let's just make a little bit more of it. And remember, we're going to just use one glaze for this whole process. So the point is you mix up enough of it and then you have to mix again. Okay, so once you've got that ready, you want to make sure you put your painting at an angle because we're going to do a flat wash as our first glaze, and we need at least about an inch to the top so that the paint is going to run down the surface evenly. So we also need a little paper towel to blot off the bottom.
So now I'm painting the first glaze.
I go right over my light areas.
And the tape will protect the paper from the glaze. Make sure that glaze is completely dry before you try to paint on it. I use a hairdryer to speed up the process. Once that's dry, we're going to start with our second glaze. I'm going to use a tiling method to do this image. Now I'm laying in my second glaze.
And then I'm going to let that dry.
So at this point, I take my tape off so I can see how my values are actually working.
And sometimes I like to even cover what I'm working on so I don't get confused by that.
I'm working on my third glaze.
So let's go to the top.
This is my final glaze. I'm going to add a little bit more pigment into my glaze for just a little bit more contrast. It's the end of the glazing process.